وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم الأمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Alhamdulillah, it's a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given me and you the ability and tawfiq to participate in this gathering, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this gathering a source of guidance for all of us, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this gathering one of the means of our entry into Jannah.
Ameen.
Today's ayah is a very heavy ayah. It's a very, very heavy ayah, and this is 165th ayah of Surah An-Nisa. And in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us something really, really important. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, رُسُلًا مُبَشِّرِينَ وَمُنْزِرِينَ. Allah is talking about the Anbiya Karam alayhim salatu wasalam. And Allah says that Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam are there, مُبَشِّرِينَ وَمُنْزِرِينَ, so that they can give you good news and they can warn you. And obviously we know that's what Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam do. They give good news and they give warnings. But then afterwards, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains the reason that why did He send Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam. First He explains the method of Anbiya. The method of Anbiya is that they give good news and they give warnings. And this is what we all know. But then He explains the purpose why He is choosing Anbiya and then why He is sending Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam. So He says, لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةٌ, so that there may not be in the favor of people or against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala any case left. In other words, the purpose of sending Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam is that humanity would run out of excuses to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the reason why Allah sent Anbiya Karam. Allah sent Anbiya Karam. In other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling in this ayah that the last messenger, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he has already been sent, and now humanity has no longer have any excuse. That's it. Now they have to turn to Allah. Now they don't have any excuse and they don't have any other choice. Now this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about Anbiya. What does it mean for us Muslims? Because when we talk about turning to Allah, we think about kafir, or we think about people who don't believe in Allah. What does it mean for us? You know, if there is anyone on this planet who does not really know who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, who really he is, not who he is demonized by some people who hate him, not what he is in the media by other people who don't really know who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, but who really he is. If there is anyone who does not know who Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, then it is on our neck. It is on our neck. We are supposed to be the carrier of the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because humanity should not have any excuse now. And they do not have any excuse. They do not have any other choice. That's why Allah sent Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam. Let me ask you the simple question. If Allah sent Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam for their nations, Allah sent different Anbiya to different nations. And the job of Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam was to make sure that everyone in their nation heard the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right or wrong. This was the purpose of every Nabi. All Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam, they were sent to different nations, and their job was to make sure that every single person in their nation heard the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is a messenger for all people, he is a messenger for all nations, he is a messenger for all time, then obviously Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his lifetime, he didn't reach all the people. He didn't talk to the people in China. He didn't talk to the people in India. He didn't talk to the people in Europe. You know, his mission in his lifetime was just limited to Arabian Peninsula. And there was just a little bit, some communication to the outside nation, and even those communication were through letters. Some communication. But most part of his life, most part of his mission was just limited to what? Arabian Peninsula, right? What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that now the responsibility is, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is, according to our belief, he is still the messenger for all the people and for all the nations, right? We believe in it. He is still the messenger for all people, for all nations. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved his message. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved this Quran till the day of judgment. He preserved it so that you and I can learn this and can become the messengers of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's our responsibility. Because humanity, remember and understand, this is the reason why Allah said Anbiya, لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةً لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Humanity should not have any excuse. They should not. That's why Allah said Anbiya. That's why I was saying it's a very heavy ayah. Because in this ayah, Allah is directly connecting us to the mission of whom? Rasulullah. It's a big ayah. It's a heavy ayah. And our teacher, I still remember when he was giving us the commentary of this ayah, I remember making a note of it. Because you don't find these kinds of examples in any books. So now when you read, when you go into a classroom and there is a teacher, and mashallah, he has so much experience, he gives you these examples. He gives you these examples so that you can understand these difficult things. He said to us that you should think of the Muslims as people in between Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the rest of humanity. We are the people, we are Muslims, we are standing in between Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the rest of humanity. On the day of judgment, Allah will ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did you do your job? What is he going to say? I did my job. We all believe that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did his job, right? And then he will turn to the rest of humanity. And Allah will ask them, did you get the message? And they might say no. They might say no. And then Allah will turn to us because we are standing in between. And then Allah will turn to us. And Allah will ask us, Hanji, did you deliver the message? Did you carry the message of your Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What are we going to say?
Yeah.
What are we going to say?
Yeah.
We were kind of busy. We didn't have much time. We couldn't do it. We were busy. Or even if we preached it with our words. Our character has nothing to show for it. We are going to be sandwiched between these two people, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the rest of humanity. On one hand, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that I have done my job. I have fulfilled my responsibility. Now it was their responsibility. And on the other hand, the rest of humanity is saying that we didn't get this message. We didn't get this message because of these people. You wanted us to follow them? You wanted us to act like them? Do you know how Muslims act like? Do you know how they do their businesses? Do you know how they behave in their neighborhoods? What do they do in their normal lives? You really wanted us to follow them. You really wanted us to be like them. Never in a million years. If they make this case against us on the day of judgment, then what will be our situation? You tell me. Think about it. Where does this put us? You know, that's why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we all know this ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah is talking about وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. The concept of shuhada ala nas, becoming a witness against the humanity. In this case, you know what? Prophet will become a witness against us. And I was talking about this in the Jummah today. You know, when we were talking about that person who is a zalim and he's biting his hands and he's lamenting and he's regretting that why did he take the path of Rasulullah, why did he have that kind of friend who took me away from Rasulullah or from the path of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best case, the worst case scenario was that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would stand up and he would say, Ya Rabb, inna qawmi ittakhadhu hazal Quran. This nation of mine, they've abandoned this Quran. All our life, and it amazes me that all our life, we know this and we also teach our children that Prophet will intercede for us, right or wrong? He will do our shifa'ah. He will intercede for us. But here is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam standing before Allah saying to Allah, Inna qawmi ittakhadhu hazal Quran mahjura. They have abandoned the Quran. My own nation have abandoned the Quran. Who is attorney against us here? It is Rasulullah. And even in that case, if we don't do our job, Prophet will witness against us. He will. He will witness against us. We are supposed to become a witness against humanity. We are supposed to be able to say that yes, we delivered the message of Islam. Every single person knew what Islam was. Even if we didn't tell them with our tongue, they knew the character and the ethics and the moral code of the Muslim just by living in the proximity of the Muslims. We didn't tell them with our tongue, they saw Islam in us, in our character. But if they don't know about Islam, if they make a case against us, we will be on the hook. Remember that. And I'm as guilty as all of you. Don't you think that this is an Imam Sahib, so he's an exception? I'm not an exception. We will be as guilty as all of you. I'm as guilty as all of you. We will be on the hook if we don't do our job, because that's why Allah sent Anbiya, لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةٌ, so that people don't have any excuse against Allah. People don't have that excuse. And then finally Allah says, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَزِيزًا حَكِيمًا, that Allah is the one who has the ultimate authority, and Allah is wise. Allah has always been full of wisdom. It was the wisdom of Allah that messengers are enough. 124,000 Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam were enough. Allah knew this. It was the wisdom of Allah. That's our responsibility. So if you find anyone who tells you that, oh, I don't find, a compelling reason to believe in Islam, or to believe in any religion, or to believe in God, the fault partly lies on him, but it partly lies on us as well. Because we didn't do our job. We didn't carry the message of Rasulullah. And I'm not telling you, brothers, I'm not telling you that you should all become preachers. You should all become scholars, Imam, Allama. No, I'm not telling you this. But at least we all should represent the beautiful code of Islam, the beautiful character of Islam, the enlightened character of Islam. We are living in 21st century. This is a century of technology. This is a century of information. Small kids. Small kids. My nephew, 3 years old, he knows how to use iPhone. He knows how to get to the YouTube videos. This is a century of information. When it comes to us, we don't know anything about Islam. Everything is the responsibility of Imam Sahib. It's a century of information. At least you have an obligation to know why Allah has given me this kalima, la ilaha illallah. Why do I say this? What is my responsibility? If I say La ilaha illallah, if I say Muhammadur Rasulullah, Allah has given me this gift. Allah did not give this gift to everyone. Why did Allah choose me and give me this gift? If we don't know anything about Islam, if we don't even know the first thing about our book, the Quran, and then the non-Muslims come to you, by the way, today, you don't have to go and give da'wah. You don't. People will come to you. I was in the airport 3 years ago. I was going to Pakistan, Glasgow airport, and I still remember it very, very distinctively. There was no praying area. And I was in the lounge, so there was one quiet corner. I went there and I started praying Zohar Salah. And this lady, I don't know, but she was watching me from somewhere. Old lady. And when I finished my Salah, I came back to my seat. She came to me and she said to me, are you a Muslim? What were you praying? What do you pray in your Salah? Why do you pray? How do you pray? All of these questions. I didn't give her da'wah. She came to me so that I can give her da'wah. Nowadays, you don't have to go and give da'wah to people. People will come to you. If only you represent Islam. If only you show Islam. People will come to you. We have these opportunities and we have to take these opportunities. We have to step up to the plate. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah gives us the ability to step up to the plate, because humanity does not have any excuse for sure. And then by extension, it means the people who say La ilaha illallah and the people who say Muhammadur Rasulullah, they don't have any excuse as well. They don't. One final note and then I finish inshallah, about Rusulan Mubashirin wa Munzirin, which is a very important note. Allah says, I sent Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam, and their method is what? Mubashirin wa Munzirin. They give good news and they give warnings. But what is mentioned first? Good news. Good news. We have to give da'wah, we understand this. We have to tell people about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how should we do it? A Muslim does not go around tell people that you are going into Jahannam. A Muslim doesn't go around and tell people that you are doomed. And I am the only one who is on haqq and you are on batil. Muslim doesn't do that. We have to become the bearer of good news. This religion, you cannot give da'wah like this. You cannot give the message of Islam to people like this. If the message of Islam is full of love, it's full of hope. It's full of optimism. And today, we Muslims, we are not optimism. We don't have any optimism at all. We don't. How many groups we have? How many groups we have?
73.
And subhanAllah, Brother Subhi, I've been working in Edinburgh for 5 years. I've never seen, alhamdulillah, and I take pride in it, that I've never seen any mosque talking against any mosque. Never ever. It doesn't matter how many differences we have, we never spoke against each other. The Imams never spoke against each other. But now I'm getting news from few places. There are people coming and telling me, are you a Wahhabi? Recently a mother came. I'm telling you the right story. I'm sitting in the house of Allah, I'm not lying to you. A mother came, 2 of her kids. 4 years old, 5 years old. And I gave her all the information, what do we teach here, what kind of books we teach here, what is our syllabus, what do we expect from the parents, and they have to come, the kids have to come 4 days a week or 5 days a week and everything. I explained everything to her. While she was leaving, she looked very confused. While she was leaving, she said, brother, are you a Sunni or a Wahhabi? And I started smiling. I started smiling. I said, sister, it doesn't matter, you send this kid to anywhere, to any mosque, and he will learn the same things. At this point, it doesn't matter if I'm a Sunni or a Wahhabi. It doesn't matter. But she insisted. So I told her, I'm a Sunni. I still gave a generic answer. I'm a Sunni. I'm a Sunni. But she said, are you a Wahhabi as well? I said, no, I'm not a Wahhabi. She said, someone told me that this mosque is a Wahhabi mosque. Someone told me. I'm not going to mention the name of that mosque. So if we Muslims, we don't have any optimism, if we are not full of hope, I've met Muslims who are saying that they are so disappointed that they say we are never going to go to Jannah. But Jannah is for really, really good people and that's not us. So we are never going to make it. If we don't have optimism, then how are we going to share it with the rest of the people? How in the world we are going to share it with the rest of the people? Anbiya came to spread good news. We have to internalize these good news. First in ourselves, we have to give glad tidings to each other, to Muslims especially, and then we can share it with the rest of the people. But this is the job of Anbiya that Allah has given us. We have to take this responsibility, every one of us. Every one of us. We have to take this responsibility and think it like this, that I need to leave a mark behind. I need to leave a legacy behind, a good legacy behind. Yes, in this dunya, I can say astaghfirullah 100 times, 1,000 times a day. But after I will go, what will help me to earn the forgiveness of Allah? If we leave a legacy behind. If we leave a legacy behind. And what kind of legacy? I'm not talking about the money legacy. I'm talking about the legacy of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, there are 3 things, right? You will die, all of your actions will come to end, but there are only 3 things that will still give you reward, right? Number 1, what? Sadqa jariyah. You spend your money in something that even after you go, it will benefit you. And number 2 is what? Let's not talk even about ulad salihah. Let's not even talk about the righteous children. We all know about the righteous. But what is the second thing? That you benefit people with your ilm. The ilm of deen. And after you leave this dunya, people act upon the knowledge that you gave them. This will help you. We all sit here every single Friday and we learn so many things about the deen. We don't sit here so that we can nod our heads and we can say, Narai Takbir, Allahu Akbar. We don't sit it like here, like for this. We sit here so that we can sincerely understand what Allah wants from us. And then we live it. And then we share it with the rest of the people. And we do it. We take this responsibility and we do it. I always tell people, I can't do things what you can do. You meet Edinburgh. I don't meet Edinburgh. I only meet Muslims who come to the masjid who already know about Islam, who wants to know about Islam, who are interested in Islam. My job is very easy. You people go out. You meet the people of Edinburgh. People ask you questions. They see Islam through you. You have more responsibility. So are we ready for this now, inshallah? Because the ayah is very, very heavy. The ayah is very, very heavy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand whatever we have learned today. And Allah give us tawfiq to act upon.